Number 8. The table shows 3 values of x and their corresponding values of y. There is a linear relationship between x and y. Which of the following equations represents this relationship? A linear relationship between this set of values, it just means if I chart these 3 numbers on a graph, and I'm not sure exactly where they're going to be, I'm just putting 3 dots to illustrate the point. If I put them on the graph and then I draw a line through them, that's a perfectly straight line. That's the visual version of that. The equation version says that I can create an equation, usually given in the form y equals mx plus b, and all these 3 numbers, these 3 sets of numbers, I should say, will fit into this. They'll make the equation true. This form right here is called the slope-intercept form of a line. It's the most common form of a line. It's called that because the m here is going to be just a number, and that number will be your slope. The b is also a number, and that's going to be your y-intercept. And if you look at our answers, all 4 of them are in this format. Y equals, and then everything else is on the right-hand side. So what they're telling us is we need to figure out what the slope and the y-intercept is for this line. If we're talking about the y-intercept visually, it's just going to be where a line crosses the y-axis. That's it. If we're talking about where that is, if we're looking at the numbers, any point that's on the y-axis, that x value is going to be 0. So let's look at our chart over here, and sure enough, there is one where the x value is 0. So when x is 0, y is 18. That means it's going up near here somewhere, not drawn to scale, but that's going to be my y-intercept, 18. So I can get rid of that b and replace it with 18. That's my y-intercept. Next is the slope. Slope is often defined as change in y over change in x. Or you might see it in your math book as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All this is telling you to do, even though it looks very fancy, is to take 2 points and plug them in. When we say 2 points, each of these up here is a point. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. I can pick any 2 of these that I want. Now I'm going to color code it to make it a little easier to see. I'm going to pick this first one. I'm going to write it in green. I'm going to pick the third one, and let's make it baby blue. All right, so baby blue. All right, so the first one, 18 and 0. That's going to be my first point, green. So the 18, the y, goes on top. The 0, the x, goes on the bottom. And I'm going to be subtracting, because that's what my formula says. Then I take the second point. The second point is 8 for the y, 2 is for the x. So 8, that y, goes on the top, and 2, the x, goes on the bottom. Now I just subtract. 18 minus 8 is 10. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. I can simplify that. 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. Negative 5 is my slope. No matter which points you do, and which point you decide to use as your first point and which one you decide to use as your second, you are always going to get negative 5. Always. I promise. So I can go up here and replace that slope, that m, with my real slope, negative 5. And I have an equation there. Y equals negative 5x plus 18. And down there, D, you can see that's my option. And if we look at the answers that they were giving, we had 2 possible y-intercepts. We had that 13, and we had an 18, and there were 2 possible slopes. We had a pair that were negative 5 and a pair that were 18. So sometimes they will do things a little different. They might put it in standard form, which is where you have, your x and your y on the same side, usually with numbers in front of them. They aren't doing anything mean like that here. They're just using slope-intercept. So again, D, y equals negative 5x plus 18 is my answer. Hey guys, it's Alyssa, and if you're looking for more SAT or PSAT help, go to mathwithalyssa.com. There you can get over 25 hours of test prep. This is for both math and reading and writing, both sections. They also come with practice questions, downloadable study guides, and more. Links to everything are in the description down below. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about this video or any suggestions for future videos. I'm all ears. And if this video was helpful or useful in any way, please let the algorithm know about it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye. And I think I slapped my leg because that's something you do. Why did I slap my leg? Why am I slapping my leg as I'm talking? Who knows? I don't know.